Garganacl is a Pokemon that was able to do really well at the beginning of Scarlet and Violet, winning the first regional championship, however hasn't seen much success since Regulation A has ended, but has made a resurgence recently in Regulation H, getting 3 Day 2 at major tournaments at Regulation H events. And we are going to be trying out one that was able to get Day 2 at both LAIC and the Sacramento Regional Championship. This is Pengy's Garganacl team. It's a very defensive, stallish team. We have quite a bit to go over. Let's break it down. First, we have the Garganacl, and Purifying Salt is an absurd ability. It prevents the Pokemon from getting status at all, and it actually does half the power of Ghost type attacks onto Garganacl, which is pretty absurd to think about. So this has the Rage Fist and Shadow Balls that are very common in this format by Annihilate and Golden Go. The Moronga Berry, which is a item where if you get hit by a special move, you do get an increased stage of special defense afterwards. So yes, you have a max special defense Garganacl with the Moronga Berry, which allows it to take so many special hits, and then you can recover off the damage. And then you have coaching with the Sneasler, which is the main idea in order to increase its physical defense. So you have a boosted physical defense, a boosted special defense. Can be really hard to break through if you don't have the right setup on your team. Paired with it is going to be Salt Cure, which is an absurd move that's able to chip opponents over time. And it is really insane what this move is. Stealth Rocks, which is able to help out because in order to reset the Salt Cure status, you do have to switch out. And if your opponent continues to switch, the Stealth Rocks damage are going to add up over time. Recover, of course, because you want it on a bulky Pokemon, and Protect to stall out the Salt Cure turns. It's absolutely insane what Garganacl can really do. The Terra Flying option, which helps out against ground type moves, but also helps out against Fissure Dondozo, which can be a very nice benefit for running that Terra Flying. Also great as a defensive typing because of super effective grass type moves from like Rillaboom, for instance. Next, we have the Sneasler, and this is a really big pairing for the Garganacl, running that Focus Sash with the Poison Touch because you don't really need the speed on Burden for this team. And if you do get poisoned, that's even more damage that you can rack up, so Garganacl can stall out games. You have the Terra Ghost to prevent Fake Out and Extreme Speeds from affecting the Sneasler, and Dire Claw Close Combat, pretty standard moves on Sneasler, and Protect, of course, to stall out the turns, Poison, as well as Salt Cure on this team, and Coaching to pair up with the Garganacl. Also pairs up with the Dondozo and the Assault Vest Incineroar. But Coaching's really interesting because you're able to boost up the attack and defense of your partner, mainly going to be the Garganacl in this case. And with that boost, again, with the physical defense boost, the special defense boost from the Moronga Berry can be absolutely absurd, can work well with the Dondozo as well, and the Assault Vest Incineroar boosting up its special defense, and then you already give it an attack and defense increase, can be a very big offensive threat. Next, we have the Dondozo with that Unaware ability, and this is to help out against setup mons where Garganacl can play a bit passive, but sometimes that can allow your opponent to set up. And Unaware Dondozo, great against breaking those Pokemon and ignoring them with that Leftovers and the Yawn set to set up and stall out some turns where you can go for that Salt Cure, go for the Yawn, and if they're switching out, again, Stealth Rocks damage can be a big factor that adds up over time. And this one is really interesting because it's running Liquidation, not Wave Crash, and running Curse instead. That can boost up its attack and defense on the Dondozo, making it a setup Pokemon by itself that can be able to break through certain teams. Next, we have the Incineroar with that Intimidate and that Assault Vest. Really nice, just general support Pokemon. That Assault Vest makes it a pretty big tank, allowing to take moves switching into Golden Go, which is a really big help, I think, in general. But also just be able to absorb those special attacks, getting into size spam, and can take advantage of Coaching Sneasler effectively because, again, having that special defense boost from the Assault Vest, the coaching from the attack and defense increase can make Incineroar a really powerful threat. With the coverage options of Flare Blitz, Fake Out, Knockoff, pretty standard moves on Incineroar, but running Drain Punch instead. This is for recovery option, and also allows you to hit opposing Incineroar, which is nice to get rid of, and King Gambit especially, because a boost to King Gambit can be a bit of a concern to some of these Pokemon. Next, we have the Alolan Ninetales with the Snow Warning and Never Melt Ice to power up its Ice-type moves, Terra Ice for the extra power, and really just Blizzard Freeze Dry, great Ice-type moves, and Aurora Veil. Aurora Veil is very useful because having screens plus the setup on Garganacl plus coaching on the Sneasler makes some of these Pokemon Like, if you thought it was already hard to get rid of, like, Garganacl and Dondozo with the coaching already, as well as the Assault Vest and Incineroar, what about adding screens that make it even more difficult to stop it? So that is what the Ninetales does. Also helps out in the weather matchup, especially the rain matchup, because it doesn't allow Paliprin or Caledon to really get powerful weather balls and electro shots free nilly out there. Finally, the last Pokemon is going to be that Choice Scarf Golden Go with the Good as Gold. This is to help out with some speed factors, because it's always nice to have a bit of speed on this team. Sneasler, Ninetales, Golden Go is going to be your main fast core, and then your slow core is going to be Garganacl, Dondozo, and Incineroar. That's able to stall out, and this can just clean up a weakened Pokemon in the endgame with a Terra Steel Make It Rain as a big offensive threat. The Shadow Ball for the coverage also helps out against opposing Golden Go. Trick if you have something like an Amoonguss that you want to trick, or Porygon 2s and Violet. A lot of things you can use the Trick to disrupt, and then Power Gem to help out against Volcarona and Charizard. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. A Garg Mirror, all right. Palafin, Garganacl, Dragonite, Alolan Ninetales, Sneasler, and Incineroar. It looks really similar, actually, because it's pretty much for the same mons. It's just they have a Palafin and a Dragonite. If I had Fisher on Dondozo, that would help. All right. So Golden Go is going to be a pretty big factor here. I need Golden Go for sure. Golden Go is like a big difference because I can trick the Garganacl on their side. And without them being able to lock in, like, it's a lot more difficult. I think I'm going to lead Sneasler plus Garg, though. I want to keep Golden the back. And I think having Incineroar. I would like Ninetales, but Aurora Belt would be really nice. Dondozo is not as helpful in this because it's just a slow team against a slow team. When they have Intimidate and Haze, it's like Curse Dondozo never sets up against this team. Ninetales is cool. It beats Palafin potentially, and the Dragonite puts on pressure, but I don't really see it helping otherwise because Aurora Belt might not even be as impactful in this game. We're going to see the Garganacl plus the Palafin out. Okay. So do I want to Sulkier immediately, or do I want to go for a coaching? Like, do I want to go straight for damage or not? Palafin probably retreats. They don't have the best switch in. It could be Incineroar, I suppose. I think the play is just to set up a coaching on Garganacl. And I think go for the Sulkier immediately into the Palafin. They're going to retreat, which is fine. Incineroar makes sense. I don't know if Garg protects or not. Getting the residual damage on the Incineroar is huge. Getting this defense boost on Garg is nice. And then I could go for the Stealth Rock the following turn. Or I could set up a Sulkier into their Garg is nice as well. They go for Sulkier into Sneasler. Alright. So it looks like we had a similar idea. Alright, that's some nice damage on Incineroar. I wonder if they fake out or not. I feel like I would swap if I was them with Incineroar. This close combat is kind of threatening them. I don't want to switch out, actually. I think I do go for close combat in Incineroar, and I think I go for a Sulkier into the Garg. I don't need the Stealth Rock yet. Okay, yeah, they don't fake out, so I get a close combat off an Incineroar, and they give me Incineroar, so that's a big uphill battle for them. They're facing 3v4, which is nice. Okay. You go for Sulkier into my Garg. Okay. Feeling pretty good about that turn trade, though. Because we're going to get Sulkier right back into your Garganacl. Alright, we're up a Pokemon. We still have Sneasler around, which can threaten powerful close combats. It's looking pretty nice so far. This is Palafin coming back in. Them not having a Amoonguss actually helps a lot, because the fact they don't have a Amoonguss means that I can just build up the damage for Sulkier. Palafin coming back in. All right, this should be Incineroar switch for Sneasler and Sulcure into the Palafin, because I do need to damage into Palafin. Get the Intimidate off with the coaching defense boost on my Garganacl as well. I feel like we should be able to tank easily a Palafin hit. So let's see if I'm right. I don't want to Terra Flying just yet because I might need the Terra on it, something else. And I don't think I need the Intimidate to survive unless it's like Terra Water Choice Band. Are going to switch out, which is nice. Okay, what's coming in? Sneasler on their side. All right. So we brought very similar Pokemon. They go for Protect. Okay. Interesting. Sulcure. Do they have coaching under Sneasler? That's a question. They're intimidated. I think now I would actually reveal the Terra. Yeah, I could save the Terra for Incineroar, but I don't think I need it. I'm going to go gold and I'm going to go for the Terra and go for a Sulcure and the Palafin. So I had to be careful because Golden Go is how I'm being their Garganacl, but as long as I position this right, I should be fine. They go for a Terra themselves. Is this Terra on the Sneasler? Terra on Palafin for Water Terra. I don't know who you're targeting. I could see this being close combat coached or wave crash into Garg double up. We'll see. It's a Terra. All right. So the Terra Flying option. They went for close combat into my Incineroar slot, which is beautiful. Okay. They go for the Wave Crash into Garg. I should easily tank one. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, that's really, really good because I get the Sulcure into the Palafin. And that's a lot of damage being built up. A lot of damage. Beautiful. I think we're in Dire Claw range, which is the only shame part here. They did Terra, so I have Sneasler for their own. Okay. I think this is just a safe Make It Rain and a switch to Incineroar. Because I don't know if there's Jet Punches involved. If I go for Make It Rain and Palafin stays in, it just goes down to the Sulcure. If I... Yeah, which should be good. I think they have to target down my... I don't know if they go for close combat ever in a Garg. They go for Jet Punch, so this is in a Garg? No, into Golden Go. Okay, that's fine. Did they Dire Claw the Garg? Make It Rain. Huge damage. Shadow Claw. Sure. They did not respect my Garg. I do get the KO on Palafin, so their Terra's gone. Are you wide guard on the Garg is going to be a good question. Do you have Protect on Sneasler? There's also another one since you have Shadow Claw. So I think I just go for Make It Rain and I fake out the Garganacl. Okay, so you do have Protect. Okay, good to know. Ooh, they give me damage into Garganacl, which is also really nice. Okay. I'll gladly take the damage. Free damage. Nice. Moronga Berry themselves? No, Citrus. Okay. I mean, the Sneasler's intimidating. It can't beat the Incineroar. I think I just go into my own Garganacl. I'm risking close combat crit here, aren't I? But I think it's worth. Oh, Battle gonna be forfeited. Huh. Did they not have Wide Guard? I mean, Sneasler was limiting the Make It Rain probably a -2, I assume. But yeah, like it did seem pretty downhill because I still had my own Sneasler around that was very effective against their team. And I still had resources. They had to crit my Incineroar first. They get a Soul Cure knockout. I bring in gold plus Sneasler. Actually, yeah, then I would win because if they're Soul Curing, that means they don't recover, which means close combat threatens the knockout. And they can't really survive the close combat and get the knockouts at the same time. Plus get recovery, because that's kind of a position they needed, right? Either they had to get coaching set up with the Sneasler plus the Soul Cure knockout, but that means they lose the Sneasler, which means I just win the game of gold. If they go for recover, again, they're not getting the Soul Cure knockout, so they just lose. If they Soul Cure, that means that they're in Sneasler close combat range. And if they coaching again, they just lose the Sneasler to the Flare Blitz. So yeah, there wasn't really much they could do. Dragonite, Arcaludon, Grimmsnarl, Primarina, Volcarona, and Blood Moon Ursaluna. Okay, screens. Depends on the day of setup, but Ursaluna is pretty rough for Garganacl stuff. Yeah. Do I need coaching? Coaching is actually not necessary. Close combat. I mean, Sneaser's a pretty good offensive mon against them in general. I think I don't need coaching though. Dire Claw. Good against Primarina Grim. I think I don't have to deal with that though. I think I'm gonna just lead and get my own screens up to match theirs. I want Golden go in the back because it's like a good switch into Blood Moon Ursaluna. Because Blood Moon Ursaluna, that Pokemon's scary. It really depends on the set on Blood Moon Ursaluna. But if this is leftovers or if this is like a Terra Ghost Assault Vest one, it's really hard for me to break through. Life Orb would probably be the scarier one, but I don't really think I see it on screens. But we have to respect it. Let's see. I would just like to try and get my screens up as quick as possible. We're going to see the Blood Moon Ursaluna and the Grimmsnarl versus Garganacl and my Ninetales. All right. So you could have Fake Out. You could have Thunder Wave. There's a lot of shenanigans that Grimmsnarl can do. I am just going to play the mind game, right? And do I Terra here? I feel like, again, I don't think this is Life Orb Ursaluna. And if I don't think it's Life Orb Ursaluna, there is no point of going for the Terra immediately. I'm going to go for a Soul Cure and just go for Aurora Veil. They can only, like, Earth Power. Like, here's the thing. If I get the Aurora Veil up, Earth Power is not doing too much damage. If they go for Hyper Voice, that's fine. Blood Moon, I should be okay with. It really just depends on what Grim does here. It really just depends on what Grim does. If they just set up a light screen or something, that's completely fine. It works out in my favor. We trade screens. I get both of my screens up immediately, and then I can fire off damage with the Ninetales the following turn. Yep, it is Terra Ghost, so I'm not too surprised because Terra Normal on these teams make a lot less sense when they don't have like Tailwind offense. Okay, interesting. They did not prankster move at all with Grimmsnarl. They go for a Blood Moon immediately, actually, into the Ninetales. With Aurora Veil, we are able to tank that, which is nice. They go for a Spear Break double up. Does this KO? No. Nowhere even close, actually. And we get the Soul Cure, which is beautiful. Okay. Nice. Okay, now that Ursaluna gonna be chipped quite a bit, which is pretty good here. They don't have the safest switches in the Blizzard, but I think I'd probably want to keep Ninetales around. I'm just going to go for Protect with my Ninetales, and I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks. If the Ursaluna wants to retreat immediately, that's okay. If they want to attack, they activate my Moronga Berry, and I very much appreciate that. I think there's definitely a case in this game to save Ninetales because their team is so slow. Aurora Veil can definitely be set up again. The only thing I think I wouldn't be able to set up against is, I guess, Vacuum Wave on Ursaluna makes a lot of sense. So I might not even be able to tank another one. We'll see here, though. They go for a light screen. Makes sense. This should be Earth Power. Oh, they targeted Ninetales. Great. I thought about switching, but it just didn't make sense this turn when I could Protect. I get my Stealth Rocks up, and yeah, now it's a pretty nice position. If they want to switch out to Ursaluna, you are taking that Soul Cure. And we could slowly build up that damage. I'm just gonna go for a blizzard, get as much damage as I possibly can, and I'm gonna Soul Cure the Grim Snarl. They switch on to Volcarona now. I'll be kind of sad because I could have just Soul Cured the Ursaluna, but right now it's looking pretty rough for them to actually break through Garganacl. I don't see how to break into Garganacl at the moment. I gotta watch out for the Pokemon in the back though. Primarina's especially a rough one, depending on its set, because if it's like Calm Mind, that could actually be pretty scary to deal with. But right now, Garganacl sitting pretty comfortably. There's not much that my opponent can really do here. Maybe there's a Vacuum Wave. Vacuum Wave might not even KO the Ninetales though. Okay, they just stay in, get a Blizzard off. I get some chip. They have, I can't even tell what kind of Ursaluna that is. Ninetales goes down. We know it's not Covert Cloak. We know it's not Leftovers. I can't even tell it does the self-as damage realistically. Spirit Break gonna come out. Alright. Soul Cure into the Grim, and we start shipping that Pokemon away. Do I want to go Golden Go, or do I want to go out into Incineroar? I think I want to go Incineroar and click Knockoff. Yeah, I want to go Incineroar and click Knockoff. Because if I go Golden Go, I actually have no idea if Shadow Ball's KOing, because it might be a Solvest Bear. It is weak to it, but with Light Screen up, I just don't know if it would. I think I'd rather just go for a Knockoff into the Ursaluna and click Soul Cure into the Bear. They go for Reflect, which is fine. Does Ursaluna survive the Knockoff? It's definitely... it doesn't. Okay. So we get rid of the Bear. That's pretty fantastic. And then we just Soul Cure the Grim for more chip, I suppose. So they're going to have limited turns around. Our Aurora Veil is wearing off, though. So that's something I do have to keep in mind. Soul Cure. The Grim is under 50%, though, which is nice. We only seen Screens and Spirit Break. We don't know the last move. I don't think it's Thunder Wave. I think he would have attempted to Thunder Wave before, but who knows? What do you bring in? Prim would make the most sense to me. And I do want to chip the Prim. If you go Primarine, I think I'm just clicking Knockoff, and I'm clicking... Oh, Arcalodon coming in. All right. I would just like to go for a Knockoff into the Arcalodon and a Soul Cure into Arcalodon as well. And I will just go for it. I guess if it's Primarine in the back, it's still concerning. But I still have a turn of Aurora Veil, so I'm not worried about losing any Pokemon here this turn. If they go for Protect, it's like, okay, maybe they get a Spirit Break off and it's like some chip, but it's not that much. What would I have to worry about in the back other than Prim? There was a Dragonite, I think, and what was the last? I can't remember. The Electroshock, so I can't use Electroshock for the remainder of the game, though, into my Garganacl, so that means it's probably a safe Terra Flying option, and I will get the Moronga Berry as well, which is cool. Yeah, Garg absolutely takes that. Yeah, it's the Moronga Berry boost. We get a Knockoff in case it wasn't Power Herb or they decide to delay it. It's Stamina or Calodon. I guess that makes sense for a screen team, though. All right. And Soul Cure will... The thing is, we did give them a bit of a boost, but we should be okay. All right, Snow stops. They're taking a lot of damage from the Soul Cure, and I mean a lot of damage. I think this turn, Aurora Veil does wear off with the snow. I think Golden Go is just such a safe play for the Incineroar slot and protect the Garganacl and see what they decide to lock into. Because then I could threaten like a Shadow Ball, or yeah, I could just threaten a Shadow Ball. I think it should knock out the Arcalodon even through Light Screen. And then I go for Recover. They switch out to Grim. Interesting. Is this Prim? Yeah, Primarina reveals itself here, which I'm not surprised. Okay. They either went for Body Press into Incineroar, or they went for the attack into Garganacl. I don't know which one. Flash Cannon, perfectly acceptable. It's still taking quite a bit of health from the Sulcure residual. Yeah, Shadow Ball should easily KO that. If you're not a Solvest, yeah, that should easily be a KO. Then I go for Recover with Garganacl, get back all the HP, and then I can Sulcure the Primarina and wear it down. I should have this game, I think, on lock. Unless Prim can knock out Garganacl here. That's the only thing I am concerned about, is like what this Prim set is. Does also get access to Haze, so I gotta watch out for it hazing the special defense boost, so it can actually maybe go for a follow-up KO. But with Terra Fly, I think I'm pretty safe. But we'll see. Shadow Ball should knock out Arcalon. If it doesn't, I'd be super shocked. Yeah. Alright, awesome. I'm gonna go for Hyper Voice. Life Dew. I guess that makes sense. I mean, it works out really well for me because I get a free recover off. All right. So they have recovery, which actually kind of makes this a bit weird. But I think I have a good endgame setup anyway. The Grim is taking some damage. I think I just go into Incineroar and I click Sulcure into the Primarina. That was gonna be forfeit. Yeah, I think if it's defensive Prim, they have no chance of beating the Garganacl with the Moronga Berry solo. Like, I just can't see it there. Like, I was just gonna sit there with Garg, just click Sulcure. So, and I guess the screens, they didn't have any setup. They relied heavily on the Blood Moon. That was, you know, it did chip away my team. It chipped away my Ninetales specifically, but otherwise, like, I kind of just sat there. Grim wasn't doing much. The fact that they weren't able to switch with the Stealth Rocks just showcased like, oh, that's how the team worked. They couldn't really do much. Maybe they got Prim in earlier. I think definitely could have been a different case because they could have Life Dewed earlier and maybe had like a partner still around. But yeah, didn't really help out. Cinccino, Hisuian Typhlosion, Meowscarada, Arcaludon, Primarina, and Dragonite. Okay, what the heck, man? What the heck is this? All right. So I gotta watch out because I need to respect Power of Arcaludon. I gotta respect the Meowscarada. There's a lot of Pokemon that I have to deal with, which can be a bit terrifying. Incineroar is definitely going to be brought in this matchup. I think I want Garganacl and Sneasler. The last Pokemon, probably Goldengo. I need speed. Yeah, and I don't think Dondozo helps. Ninetales Aurorville could, I suppose. But I like Goldengo because it's a switch in this Cinccino. I think I'm going to lead Garganacl plus Incineroar right off the bat and bring the Goldengo Sneasler as a back to, yeah. Because Incineroar is like a pretty safe lead. The only problem with this lead is Primarina, which at least I can fake on the Primarina. I wonder if they have pledges because they do have Meowscarada. I mean, they had 3 starters actually. So this could be pledge with like Typhlosion, Fire Pledge, maybe as a backup, but it's mainly Eruption stuff. That would be pretty interesting, actually. That would be pretty interesting. Let's see. I think that would be a pretty cool strategy here, but I don't know. What is their option here? And I don't know what Cinccino's doing. Is it Technician loaded dice? I don't see Cinccino much, so we'll see if it's even brought into this game. I would like to see it being brought because I know it gets a lot of moves, Bullet Seed knockoff that could definitely screw me over, but I would like to see it. Lead wise, it's going to be Primarina and Dragonite, so this is a pretty good lead for me as I lead Garganacl and Incineroar. Okay. Getting Intimidate off into both sides. I think that this is just a safe Stealth Rock right here in case they go for Double Protect, which is fair. Gonna go for Fake Out plus Stealth Rock. Don't be Terra Ghost or Covert Cloak on Primarina and we'll be okay. Again, the Stealth Rock means if they ever decide to switch here, that means they lose their multi-skill on Dragonite, and I just get a bit of chip damage every time a Pokemon comes in. So, Sulcure strats are looking pretty good. We do get a Fake Out off into the Primarina. Stomping Tantrum. Okay, this shouldn't do too much damage. Yeah. As Primarina flinches and Stealth Rocks are set up. All right. Not a bad start with the Stealth Rocks. The question is, how am I beating the Primarina effectively? Which is a good question. I do want to go for... I could go for the Terra Flying if I really, really want to. I did plan on going for Terra Flying in general in this matchup. The only Pokemon it's not great against is Cinccino, as well, I guess, the Hisuian Typhlosion if it's in the back. But I kind of want to start getting the ball rolling. I'm going to go for the Assault Cure. I think I want to target down Primarina. Yeah, I'm going to target down the Primarina, and then I'm going to U-turn. Or I don't have U-turn. I guess I just go for a knockoff in the Primarina as well, in case it's an offensive item. Then I could probably bring in my Golden Ghost safely, I think, and protect the Garganacl. Then I could dress and make it rain plus recover, which I think is like pretty good of a line. But we'll see. It really just depends on A, how much damage does the Primarina do, and B, like what their options are. They go for Stomping Tantrum. Beautiful. It's into the Garganacl. Knockoff going to come out first, which is cool. It's a Citrus Berry, which is nice because now they don't have recovery. Here comes a Hyper Voice. We take it extremely well with both Pokemon, and we have the Moronga Berry that we are healing with, which is beautiful. And here comes a Salt Cure into Primarina, and that is going to do a good amount of damage every single time. So Primarina gonna be weakened here. Very solid. Yeah, it's in Flare Blitz range now, I'm pretty sure. So I can switch out, or I could stay in. I think I want Incineroar around. I think Sneasler's probably the least useful Pokemon. So I'm going to get a recover with Garganacl. They do have a boosted Stomping Tantrum, though, which is the concern. They are intimidated, so I could go Golden Go, but I don't know if I live Hyper Voice, and I think I would want Gold around for the final. So I'm going to bring in Sneasler. Because I can't remember on the top of my hat what speed tier Cinccino is, but I'm pretty sure Cinccino is slower. But I think it's okay if I lose Sneasler. Primarina actually going to retreat, which is surprising because Stealth Rock's damage is adding up. We're going to see our Caledon come in, which is a Pokemon that does get access to Sturdy and does lose it here, which is great. Okay. Ice Spinner. They didn't go for the double Stomping Tantrum, which is surprising, and I'm able to get the recovery back. Nice. Okay, that is a really good turn here, and I mean a really good turn. Is that leftovers or Caledon? All right, I don't have to worry about body press, I suppose. I'm just going to go for recover Garganacl. Do I want to go for coaching, or do I want to close combat here? I think I protect the Sneasler and just scout for like what they're going to decide to do here, because I want to see if like there's a Terra. We are going to see a Terra from the Arcaladon. Yeah, it's Arcaladon Terra, so I didn't close combat, fall into a trap. It's Terra Fighting, sure. That doesn't really change anything against my Garganacl, because you'll eventually have to switch out with Salt Cure still active. Okay. As we protect Sneasler, because I'm trying to figure out what you were trying to go for. Flash Cannon into the Sneasler slot, and is this Stomping Tantrum as well? Ailwind, that's fine. Okay. Gonna go for recover. And I don't really care too much about the Garganacl. I think I'm... Or not Garganacl, the Arcaladon. I think I want a Salt Cure to Dragonite. Do I want Gold or do I want Incineroar around? Probably I want Gold still around healthy. So I'm going to bring out Incineroar. Get Intimidate off into the Dragonite once again. Yeah, I like the idea of just spamming Soul Cure into the Dragonite slot, because our Caledon is just not accomplishing any damage right here. They go for a Flash Cannon again. Beautiful. There's probably Stomping Tantrum to cover for the switch, but it also would have KO'd. Yep. But they shouldn't KO Incineroar. Yeah, at the range is that now. So I do get a Soul Cure off in the Dragonite. It breaks the multi-scale, but that damage is going to start adding up into the Dragonite, which is beautiful. Jaboka Berry? Okay. That's a new one. I'm going to go for Soul Cure. They go for Body Press, right? I think I'm going to double out on a Gold. If they go for Stomping Tantrum in the Gold slot, sure. But I think Dragonite might want to retreat here, because it's not doing anything. Yeah, they're retreating the Dragonite perfect. So I get Golden probably super safe because I think they're going to go for Body Press. Like, they went Primarina because they maybe expected Garganacl to Salt Cure the other slot. But I just have no reason to boost our Caledon right now. Like, I'll say, like, I just focus on the left slot. And as long as that slot is switching out and our Caledon is just not doing anything, I'm in a pretty good position. Yeah, like, they even went for the Protect. I'm surprised they didn't try to get the Incineroar, but that works out beautifully for me. Salt Cure going to come out, knock out the Primarina. The Dragonite one comes in, it gets damaged quite heavily by the Stealth Rocks, and then I go for another Salt Cure, and then it's just like unable to switch for the rest of the game. If it's in Chino, like, it's looking pretty bad for them. What's this Pokemon? Typhlosion coming in, but Stealth Rock's damage is weakening the power of the Eruption, which is nice as well, and we have the Moronga Berry boost on top. All right, now that I know my line here, I think I just go for a safe. I'm pretty sure that Salt Cure is pretty safe into an Incineroar switch. They already committed their Terra on the Arcaladon, so I don't have to worry about like Terra Fire nuking me right here. Just get the damage into the Hisuian Typhlosion, because if I Protect, it's way too passive. I need to make sure the Typhlosion gets pretty low and make sure that I, again, just keep forcing that slot to keep switching, because I could beat the Arcaladon on the end game, I think, with just Garganacl. So all I need to do is just focus on the other slot. I don't think I need to Intimidate that badly into Dragonite either, and I could clean up with maybe a Golden Go make it rain scenario. We go for Eruption. Do we tank one with Incineroar? No. Gets a critical hit. I don't know. Maybe we could have. But it depends on the item on Typhlosion. All right, this should be Flash Cannon. Yep. Okay, Garganacl takes it. Nice, no special defense drop. A Salt Cure going to be fired off into the Typhlosion. Does so much damage. All right, awesome. I think I get to go out into my Sneasler because Tailwind petered out. I could go Golden Go, but there's no point. If this is Scarf Typhlosion, I just Dire Claw anyway into it. If it's Scarf, no big deal. If it switches out in Dragonite, they lose the Typhlosion as well. So no matter what, the Typhlosion is going down, and I can't really see how they're winning at this point because I get to recover off the damage with Garganacl. Then I can just recover spam, and because the Dragonite takes another turn to Stealth Rock, I can just knock it out with Dire Claw the following turn. They don't have a way to KO the Sneasler quick enough. I mean, I guess it's a Flash Cannon, and that puts me in extreme speed range, but even then, I still have a Gold that Revenge KOs in the back, and then they don't get any damage into Garganacl, which means I can Salt Cure the Dragonite slot. So they are in a very dire situation because the Typhlosion is just way too low. It is not Scarf, so Sneasler outspeeds the Typhlosion, picks up that knockout. So goodbye, Typhlosion. Looks like no Cinccino, which is very unfortunate. A Flash Cannon going to be fired off. They're going to target down the Garganacl, but it's just nowhere near enough damage. No special defense drop either, no crit. I get a recover off with Garganacl, and that should seal my opponent's fate right here. Because I also have a Golden Ghost still around. They're going to bring out the Dragonite, which is also taking... Oh, well, it's actually not going to go down to Dire Claw, but... I'm just going to go for a Salt Cure into the... I think Salt Cure and Coaching is the right play. They would have to double crit me with Garganacl, right? Yeah. While Ice Spinner and a Flash Cannon into Garganacl might get a KO. I'm just going to make sure that crit doesn't get the KO so I can get the Salt Cure off guaranteed into the Arcaladon. Because what? We saw Tailwind, Stomping Tantrum, Tailwind from the Dragonite. We don't know the last move, but that's fine. They go for the Flash Cannon. They actually target the Sneasler, which is perfect. I did go for Tailwind. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Get a Salt Cure off into the Arcaladon, and now we just play a defensive game where we stall out this Tailwind, and then either Sneasler goes down, I get a free switch to Golden Go, and we're in a really safe spot there, or yeah, there's really not much they can do. Unless Arcaladon actually has Electroshot, which I'd be pretty surprised by. So I'm going to actually Salt Cure the Dragonite, and I'm going to click... Actually, do I need to stall out the Tailwind? I could just... I'd rather just go for the offense against Dragonite, actually. Yeah, I think going for the offense against Dragonite too. Because, like, if for some reason the Archaludon does have Electro Shot, I don't want to protect and then Electro Shots me. They get the KO and the Sneasler with Body Press, which I'm actually a little bit surprised I KO'd, but that's fine. This is Ice Spinner. Yeah. Okay. That coaching just making it so worthwhile. We get the Salt Cure off into the Dragonite. And it's actually enough to pick up the knockout with the bit of chip. So yeah, this game's over. I probably should have Salt Cured ahead on the Dragonite, but I wanted to guarantee I had a way to hit the Archaludon, so gold was in a really good spot to win. But now it's just like, okay, yeah, this is over. The Dragonite is gone. They can't really do much here. I'll trick the Archaludon and go for a recover. And then I'll trick my own Garganacl to leftovers. I guess that's how it's going to work. Yes, I go gold. I have no reason to really go for Shadow Ball at this point. Maybe it speeds up the game, but... So there's a trick. We'll go for a recover and a trick into the Archaludon. They should forfeit here because there's nothing our Archaludon can do, at least this set. So interesting to see the leftover set. Power was like, okay, I'd have to play around a +1 special defense. Probably a lot more difficult. The Body Press set just made it so much easier. And I mean so much easier to maneuver. Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Mousehold, Annihilate, Whimsicott, Hisuian, Typhlosion. It is 2-2-2, man. Okay. How are we playing this 2-2-2 game? I don't think I can lead Sneasler. I think I would lead gold. I think I'm gonna lead gold plus Garganacl. How am I beating the Dozo on the team? I guess it's just with a lot of... I mean, I can't beat Dozo. I don't really want to bring Sneasler in this game, but... Like, Ninetales doesn't do anything because of the Sunny Day threat. I think it's just Dozo and Incineroar. Terra-wise, I have to Terra the Garganacl. The only real big threat I think of this combination is Mouse Ape, or if they lead Dozo and have back Typhlosion, I think that's scary. I think those are the two ways I'm like really scared about like how this game could be approached. The otherwise it's just like Mouse Ape lead is what's the big one here. Because I have no idea what the sets are. Alright, we see Mouse Ape lead, which is not too surprising. Versus Gold and Garganacl. Are you Final Gambit or not? I'm just going to go for a Make It Rain. I'm going to go in a Dozo. If they're Final Gambit, that's fine. Because I don't think I mind that trade because Garg might be able to win that endgame by itself. Okay, they protect the Mouse Hold, which is fair. Shadow Claw means a Scarf. Okay, so it's not Rage Fist. That's good to know. Okay, I'm pretty happy about this then. Because I get damage into the Annihilate if I confirm it's Scarf. Yeah, that's pretty good for me, actually. Because now I can just switch out into Incineroar and I can switch out into Garganacl. And I get Intimidates. I get Garganacl in a pretty safe position, I'd say. And then we just threaten Salt Cures and knockoffs and fake out pressure as well. We have like a lot that could build up. Interesting. Okay. A lot easier. Now that I know it's not beat up Rage Fist bulk up stuff. Because that was scary to deal with. Let's see. Incineroar will give them a Defiant boost, but it doesn't really matter if they're locked into Shadow Claw. It's not really doing too much to my team. The rest, I'm trying to figure out how this plays out. Guard comes in. It should be Population Bomb and Shadow Claw. Yeah, perfect. Okay. And Garg will eat that up. Okay. Nice. Now I'm gonna go for I'm gonna double Incineroar out back into gold, and I'm gonna Soul Cure the Annihilate. You might be thinking, why am I making this play? It's because I think Ape should be switching out here. And maybe Mousehold protects, fearing the fake out into it, plus like a Soul Cure. I like the idea of getting the Soul Cure as well, building up the damage. I know Ape can't protect. The Mousehold is not really a threat right now at the current moment. Soul Cure damage just building up is going to be nice. I do have to make sure that I'm healthy though for against the Dundos. Oh, they stay in. Don't tell me they... there should be Shadow Claw into Garg if they're staying in. Gold comes in. Ooh. Good play on their part. Good play on their part. Population Bomb. Okay. They are getting me here, though. I do get the Soul Cure off into Annihilate. Oh, boy. That was a really good Shadow Claw. Unless they just went for Shadow Claw Population Bomb to KO the Incin, which I guess makes sense, too. I'm going out in a Dozo. And I'm clicking Yawn and Recover, because I need recovery. So let's recover the HP with Garganacl. I think we should be able to live a Shadow Claw plus Population Bomb with the Purifying Salt, just making it so Shadow Claw's damage is reduced here. They finally switch out 8, which is good. Oh, it's Whimsicott and Typhlosion back? Alright, that changes things. Oh, that really changes things. Oh, they did not want to bring the Dozo against this. That does so much damage to Dozo. That's insane. Yawn. And recover. Okay, this is pretty bad. Pretty bad. No terror that saves me out here. I think I want a Liquidation swap to Incin. Do you have Encore on the whims? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think I just go for a Soul Cure. You know what? I'm going to double the mouse. I don't know if they're going to Population Bomb again. But yeah, switch out makes sense. I don't know if this is Typhlosion or if this is Annihilate. It is Annihilate again. Okay, cool. They just Moonblast. Okay, so it's not Encore here, which is great because I get the knockout into the Annihilate, and I do go for the Soul Cure here. So Annihilate goes down. Typhlosion I'm still pretty good against naturally. I do get the KO into Ape. All right, we have a winnable game, I guess. It's probably Covercloak Whims though, so it's actually going to be pretty hard to get rid of Whimsicott. And it's pretty annoying because it depends on the Whimsicott set. Encore is just really tough. All right, Leftovers recovery. Is this Mouse again? I feel like this should just be Mouse. Yep. I guess I'm just protecting, going to go for Soul Cure into the Mousehold. There's not really much I can do here. If they double in a Gar, good play on their part, but we'll see. Get Protect off. Moonblast. They're building up the damage into Garg. Makes sense. Nice. All right. So we are building up damage into the Mousehold. A crit does help out. A crit does help out. Do you not have Encore? Maybe it's just Sunny Day, no Encore? I think I just fire off a liquidation here and I just go for a Salt Cure into the Mousehold. They go for a taunt, which makes sense to prevent recover. Should still be fine though. Go for Pop Bomb into the Dozo. Winnable week. Winnable week. It's possible. Because then more Salt Cure damage is building up onto the mouse. Yeah, this is definitely winnable. It has to be Typhlosion back, right? Unless they have Tatsugiri. Solo Tatsugiri back would be really smart by them. I have to read if Mousehold is switching in or switching out or not. Because if I... Does it protect? There's a lot of things that could go wrong. I feel like Mousehold is not going to let me get a fake out off. I can knock out predicting Typhlosion, or I could read protect and Flare Blitz the Whims. I think I'm going to Sulk here this slot and Flare Blitz the Whims just in case. Because I covered the Typhlosion and Mousehold stays in. It goes for fake out. Oh, they went for the Terra Ghost. Okay. Oh, this endgame is really interesting. Okay. So they don't have Terra Fire on the Typhlosion. Can Garga 1v2 the rest? Ooh, they Sunny Day here. Okay. Pop Bomb. Wait, does Incineroar survive? I was at 151 and it looks like it's doing 15 every hit. Okay, we do survive. That's a huge survival on the Intimidate because I get the Flare Blitz off into Whims. It's just KO because I'm assuming it's Sash Tatsugiri and not Sash Whims. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on a sec. Maybe. So Incineroar goes down. We get the Soul Cure into the Mousehold for the knockout. Is it the chip? They don't have Terra on the Typhlosion. And if they Sunny Dayed, it has to be Typhlosion in the back, right? There's no way you Sunny Dayed if Tatsugiri was in the back. We have Moronga Berry boost on the Garganacl too. That's Typhlosion, right? Okay, I was about to say, I didn't recognize the text for a second. All right, we have +1. Dark. Last turn of Taunt, which is actually really useful because if they lock in Eruption, that actually does matter. We Soul Cure the Typhlosion. They go for Eruption as they're out here. Oh, we easily tank. And I mean easily. Here's a Soul Cure into the Typhlosion. Big damage. I go for Soul Cure again, right? Because it wasn't Frisk, I think. Yeah, I think it wasn't Frisk. And if it was, or I guess, would Frisk have activated because there's no item on Garg? I don't know. I want to avoid putting it in Blaze range. And if it's locked in Eruption, it's just not doing any damage anyway. I think I Soul Cured this turn because I don't want to get them in. Yeah, if it's Heat Wave and they get in Blaze, I could have lost on a crit. Well, I would have probably lost on a crit anyway, I think, because that was a through Moronga Berry boost. We get the Soul Cure, pick up the knockout. If they got the Blaze, I don't think it was enough, but I want to be super safe there. We do get the Typhlosion and Garg. Oh my goodness, this Mon. Oh my goodness, this Mon. Nice. Nice. Super clutch survival from Incin. Getting that double knockout on that turn was huge. Was able to build up damage. It wasn't looking good for most of the game. But we somehow powered through. Volcarona, Rillaboom, Alolan Ninetales, King Gambit with Sneasler and Electabuzz. Okay. I think that this is
an actual good matchup against the balanced up because we have coaching on Sneasler, which is pretty effective here. I do got to watch out for when I use my Terra, but I do like Garg and I do like Sneasler and I like Incineroar too. What's the back on? Is it Dundozo? I could bring Dundozo. There's a lot I could bring. Dundozo, Golden Go is not too bad. I think I probably would prefer not Golden Go. I think I'd probably go Dundozo. Ninetales is also not too bad because of Aurora Veil. But having an Unaware Mon and Yawn to stall out some turns would make a lot of sense and help out here quite immensely. So we'll see. If they go what they lead here, I could see Electabuzz leading. If they lead Electabuzz, King Gambit, then that's cool by me. I think I just go for a Soul Cure immediately, then get my rocks up, start going for coachings into my Garganacl so it can match the King Gambit. Granted, the King Gambit is going to set up a lot faster than my Garg, but I think it's probably okay, and I still have Dundozo as a backup. So we'll see. We'll see. Go for the Soul Cure, get the damage onto Electabuzz to start building up some momentum. Although Electabuzz can't carry Taunt, that's the one scary thing. But they had to also risk the close combat Sneasler. I guess if it's Terra Ghost on their Electabuzz, it's pretty annoying. We're going to say Rillaboom and... Okay, Rillaboom lead is interesting. Okay. Oh, wait. If it's Covert Cloak on Volcarona, how am I beating this? So I'm going to just set up my Soul Cure, I think, into the Volcarona, and I'm going to go for coaching into the Garganacl turn 1. I don't know if there's a fake out involved into either slot, which I could definitely see. I don't want to Terra just yet because I don't think they go for Woodhammer immediately. Protect Woodhammer, I guess, but that's so risky in front of Sneasler. So I'm going to go for a Soul Cure. I want to see if this is Covert Cloak on the Volcarona, because if it's Covert Cloak, gonna be difficult. If it's leftovers, it's a lot easier to handle. We actually see the hard retreat here, which is fantastic for me. Is this Electabuzz? Yeah, it's Electabuzz. Makes sense. And they protect. That's a free coaching for me. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. So I go for the coaching. We have a +1 attack, a +1 defense. Beautiful. And we're going to keep launching these attacks. So I'm going to go for another Soul Cure into the Volcarona, and I'm going to go for a coaching. As long as this isn't Giga Drain Volcarona, which I don't think should be on this team, I'll be in a pretty good spot. Because +2 defense Garganacl is going to be pretty tough for them to deal with. They go for Follow Me, which makes sense. As we get the coaching off again. Because Volcarona shouldn't be able to hit us too hard. River Dance is up. Do I want to fake out the Volcarona? Not really. Soul Cure. Respectable damage. But more importantly, that residual damage is going to be pretty crucial into the Electabuzz. I got to make sure I set this up properly. I want to Soul Cure again. I kind of do, because I think I go Incineroar here for my Sneasler, so I can threaten a fake out pressure the next turn. They're probably just going to follow me in Quiver Dance again, which is fine. If they Heat Wave, that's perfectly acceptable. I'm bringing Incineroar. I'm going to set up my Stealth Rock the next turn. Follow me again. That's cool. Be another Quiver. Yep. Okay. Because Volcarona is not really accomplishing too much against my team. So here's another Soul Cure. The only thing is, I wish I could proc my Morong Berry myself. That's like the only downside here. Electabuzz is getting pretty low. I expect Rillaboom to come in and Volcarona to just protect. So I'm just going to set up my Stealth Rock. And I'm going to go out into Dundozo. They could go for a Protect with Electabuzz with a double Protect, but Electabuzz takes so much HP. I think they want to reset that Soul Cure, but I think they stayed in. All right, is this double Protect? I'd be shocked. Dondozo. They do protect Volcarona because I could have faked out Electabuzz and went for the thing. Did they go for taunt? Oh, they did go for the double protect. Nice. I get free Stealth Rocks up. Beautiful. And now I put on a lot of pressure of Liquidation into Sulk Cure, which is fantastic here. Yeah, I really like this position now. Although, if I was Wave Crash, this would be easier, I think, because I don't know if Liquidation's actually getting KO here. We'll find out. I'm going for the Sulk Cure into Electabuzz, and I'm going to go for the Liquidation into the... Actually, no, I always double up the Volcarona. We're going to see a Terra involved. This is probably Terra Fairy on the Volcarona. This is probably just, I'd assume it's... Oh, Water Terra. Not what I anticipated. Okay, that changes things. You go for Follow Me again? Sure. Oh, wait. I just realized Terra Water, Terra Blast into a Garganacl is not what I anticipated. Oh, no. I set up the Garg so well, too. Okay. Wait, my Incineroar is also threatened. This is really bad. I am KOing the Electabuzz this turn with the Sulk here. Why are you Terra Water on the bulk on this one? No. All right, Electabuzz goes down. Grassy Terrain disappears, but it's just going to be set up again. Gonna go Sneasler, I think, and then switch out Dondozo into Incineroar. Ah, this is so rough. I was really just planning on setting up with my Garg and just be walling the Terra Fairy Terra Blast. I'm like, okay, I'll eat that. I'll eat that. Terra Water makes things a lot more difficult. So I'm going to go Incineroar and protect my... Ah, this is so rough. We'll see. Bring out the Incineroar again, Intimidate off. I don't think they Terra Blast here. I think they Heat Wave or Quiver Dance again. Maybe they Protect, which is fair as well. They fake out my Dondozo and Heat Wave. That makes sense. Okay. I feel like they aren't Cover Cloak because if they were Cover Cloak, they definitely could have gotten a surprise Terra Blast knockout earlier. So I'm feeling that they aren't. Do I Dire Claw or do I Close Combat? I gotta get this turn really right because if I expect King Gambit to switch, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna fake out the Volcarona and Dire Claw. Let's see. Do you have King Gambit? Do you switch in King Gambit? Okay, no switch. Fake out into Volk. Grassy Glide, which is fine. Okay, yeah, it's not covert. Nice. Here comes a Dire Claw. Good damage in a Rillaboom. That sleep is actually pretty good. Okay. It is leftovers on Volk. And then those will beat the Volk. Maybe. Maybe. I'm going to protect my Sneasler. I'm going to swap out into my Dondozo, I think. This covers Terra Blast, but this also covers a Heat Wave. I need resources around. That's why. That's why I'm doing this pivot. All right, we protect our Sneasler. The Rillaboom takes its first turn of sleep. It did go for the Terra Blast. Shoot, I should went for Dire Claw. That's fine. Dondozo should eat this up. Yeah, like easily. All right. Are you gonna go for Heat Wave or are you gonna go for Terra Blast into Sneasler? I would Terra Blast the Sneasler if I was them. Terra doesn't help me here. I do have Terra on Incineroar. Trying to think about how this turn reacts. I think I'm just going to attempt to go for a Dire Claw into the Rillaboom, and I don't think I can afford to Terra Dundozo. I could go to Incin, but again, I do think that they Terra Blast the Sneasler slot, so I'm going to yawn the Vocal... They Heat Waved. It didn't KO. I'm kind of shocked by that because I thought you had a guaranteed pin into the Sneasler slot with Terra Blast because you probably would have KO'd with a single target, but that works out amazingly for me. I get to yawn off into Volcarona. Now I'm actually back in the game. I'm back in the game. Okay. What's the last Pokemon? In Gambit? Like, Dundozo is going to be pretty rough for them to handle, I think, because Electabuzz is gone and Rillaboom's gone. So what's the final Pokemon? That's Sneasler. Okay. So not over yet. Grassy Seed is fine. I never Terra you because if I Terra, I lose. Actually, I just double protect, right? Yeah, I double protect here. I double protect and then I think I go for coaching plus curse. Dire Claw coming out into Dundozo. And a Heat Wave, I imagine. No, they actually Terra Blast this time, sure. I don't know why you didn't Terra Blast the turn before, but I'll take it. All right. So the Sneasler... Well, it's unburdened Sneasler on their side. All right. So it comes down to some Dire Claws, I think, interaction-wise. I am going to go for coaching into the Dundozo. I am going to go for a curse into my Dundozo because I'm trying to get the boost. They might close combat the Sneasler, which is acceptable. I just wish I could take advantage of it, but then again, Unaware is saving us from being swept by Volcarona. They go for Dire Claw and a Dundozo. Not great. But I think this is manageable if this might get rough. This might get rough. Oh boy. This might get really rough. Gonna go for another coaching attempt and I guess liquidation the Sneasler. I don't know who they're targeting. I feel like you could still build up damage to Dundozo. They go for a Dire Claw into Sneasler to take the knockout, which is fine. Oh, Volcarona woke up, which is not great. They go for Heat Wave. Dundozo's taking it. I hope this Dire Claw isn't the end of me. I think I need an immediate wake up with Dozo. We don't know the full moveset of the Sneasler. I don't know if it's protect. That's the thing. I'm gonna go for fake out and I'm gonna go for curse. Okay, they do have protect. Okay. I didn't want to fall for a double protect in Terra because I think I go for the Terra the next turn. Good. If we wake up here, we're in a great spot. If we don't, not the best, but still playable. Okay. Please wake up. Please wake up. Please wake up. All right. Go for the Terra with you. I think we want to knock off the Volcarona for the leftovers recovery, and then I think we yawn the Sneasler. Because Liquidation's not KOing the Sneasler anymore. I thought about doubling up the Sneasler with Flare Blitz plus a Liquidation, but the problem is I might still lose to the Volcarona 1v1 if I don't have that knockoff available. Let's see. Go for a Terra with Incineroar. It is risky though because they can go for Heat Wave, but I feel like it should be Terra Blast. Oh, they Dire Clawed my Incineroar. And I got crit. Did they Terra Blast or did they Heat Wave? There was a chance maybe Incineroar could have maybe lived a double up, but I think now it's really unlikely for me to win. They did Terra Blast double up. Okay. I'll play to my outs, but they're not really pretty. Do I want to curse first or do I want a liquidation immediately? I think I protect. Unfortunately, this is going to be a very boring end game here. I might lose on timer too. We'll see. Okay, they go for Dire Claw. Not surprising. They're going to go for a... Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what they do. Heat Wave, sure. Probably is if it wasn't for Flame Body Wrist on Volcarona, I'd like be okay in this spot still. But yeah, this is not looking too hot. Feel like we might need some turns of sleep on that Sneasler. I'm going for Curse. Because I need to build up the damage output against the Volcarona too. Especially with Terra Water, it actually resists my water type attacks. Which is really rough here. They're going to go for timer, which makes sense. I think there's like 5 minutes on the timer, so... If we can get a big hit into Volcarona, there's a chance. I think I will need a Sneasler to stay asleep for a few turns, though. Probably... Because I don't think +2 Liquidation KO Sneasler. I think I need +3 to KO. They protect Volcarona. I guess they're fearing a yawn. That works out really well because I don't take damage this turn, which is actually really big. Okay. Curse up Dundozo. Curse them for getting the Dire Claw sleep on you earlier. Let out your anger right now. Okay. I'm +2, but I don't think +2 KOs the Sneasler. With Grassy Seed, I could see it having bulk too. I think I don't know my Dundozo solo calcs versus Sneasler, but I think another Curse is definitely the best play. And then we Liquidation the Sneasler. Then we can yawn the Volcarona. It's just, do we have enough time for the turns is my question. Because I don't know if I'll have enough turns to win. Oh, it's 3 minutes in the battle. Oh, I think it's over. It depends on my opponent's your time, but I think it's over. I think if I had enough turns, I could actually win this by Dundozo itself. But definitely not with 3 turns. I mean, Heat Wave misses would help. Okay. Maybe. I feel like we're taking too much time though. I need Sneasler to stay asleep this turn. I need to KO with Liquidation. Then I need to get 1 hit off into the Volcarona. It really just depends on how much your time they have. And I don't really have the time really to check myself. This is super close. Like if they don't have enough your time, then it might be manageable, but it's 2 minutes left of animations. I don't think we're gonna make it, unfortunately. Because maybe I only needed 1 hit on the Volcarona, but +3 Liquidation in a Volcarona, I just don't think it's enough. That's kind of the downside to using this defensive team. It's can be too slow at times. Like we do probably win the game solo unless Sneasler gets something crazy here. They stay to sleep. Aeroblast. You do knock out the Sneasler. I just don't think we have enough turns in the Volcarona. And I just don't think we do enough with this initial liquidation. Yeah, they have too much Euro time. They have 129. Okay, it's over. Well, yeah, no, they just protect and then they protect again. Oh, I just needed like one more minute, I think. I think one more minute could have helped. One more minute could have made it possible because I could have got a liquidation crit too. I win the game if we have like 5 more minutes probably, because then I could just keep liquidationing, and again, as long as the flame body doesn't proc immediately, there's a winnable chance. But just because Dondozo ended up sleeping for those few turns, I lost so much momentum. I lost so much momentum because of the Dire Claw sleep. Unfortunate. But then again, I did get a Dire Claw sleep on the Rillaboom, so it's not like this was a clean game if I won anyway. But the fact that it was Terra Water Volcarona was the heartbreaker, because I thought I positioned Garg really well against Fairy Terra, but then it being Water Terra was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. It's over. Yep. That's just how it goes sometimes. 2 Dire Claw immediate sleeps. One onto the Rillaboom that helped me out, one against the Dondozo that hurt me. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, wasn't expecting to play a Garganacl mirror, but was able to take knockouts quicker than my opponent to hold the advantage. In game 2, an excellent start getting the Aurora Veil set up and was able to build up damage rapidly with Salt Cure, while they couldn't find a way to break through the team before I provided the final blows. In game 3, solid beginning as Salt Cure racked up the damage while I left the Archaludon that couldn't touch my Garganacl alone, while Salt Cure was able to do so much to set up for a Golden Go cleanup. In game 4, the Dondozo teams aren't so bad for this team now that I think about it, because you have Garganacl with Terra, you have the Alolan Ninetales, you have Incineroar Intimidate, and of course you have your own Dondozo. So Dondozo and not being brought makes sense, but the Mouse Ape could have been very scary. The Population Bomb Mousehold was doing so much damage, but a clutch survival from Incineroar allowed me to get a double knockout, while Garganacl was able to beat the Typhlosion in a 1v1. In game 5, Terra Water Volcarona with Terra Blast ended up really screwing over my plans of winning with Garganacl. I was playing for the standard Terra Fairy set and ended up being really down. Traded some Dire Claw sleeps, but needed Dondozo to wake up earlier, or Incineroar maybe not to get crits to win that game, or if I just had a few more turns on the timer, Dondozo could have maybe even beaten the Volcarona, but alas. Overall, what do I think about the team? I'm gonna be real, I don't really like playing stallish teams. They're not exactly my kind of style, and Garganacl sitting there self-curing, self-rocks. I mean, it just doesn't do it for me as like clicking actual attacks. But overall, we saw how strong it can be. There are just some opponents that were just not able to deal with that Salt Cure just building up, racking up the damage. And assuming you don't get really unlucky, it can be really hard to find a way to break through this team, especially the core of Garganacl and Dondozo next to coaching Sneasler. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you would like to try out the team, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time this video comes out. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.